Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown Live 205 results. As start off the video, birthdays, December 27th, Mark Gunn, he was born 1965. Demolition X, 1947. Goldberg turned 50 years old. He was born 1966. China was born on this date in 1972. Cesaro, show you some pictures of that as well. He was born in 1980. Of course, courtesy of Sheamus and his own Twitter account for the pictures. Rosita, a.k.a. Thea Trinidad, turned 26. She was born in 1990. Again, for the pictures. It appears that there was a backstage birthday celebration for the Swiss Superman backstage at a live event in St. Louis as he and Sheamus tweeted photos at WWE. Cesaro says, "Thank you for all the tweets, messages, pics, videos, etc. I appreciate it very much. Thank you." All right, Mickie James finished her WWE medical screening process and will begin appearing on SmackDown Live in early 2017. So, I'm wondering, if it's early, could we see her again in Shreveport, Louisiana? A buddy of mine texted me earlier tonight and was saying that WWE did advertise a fatal four-way match for the SmackDown WWE Championship. It will be John Cena versus Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles. And I think it might be Bray Wyatt or Randy Orton. As you will see later in this video, that could happen because of something happening in the tag team match on later on in the show. All other birthdays also: Goldberg turning 50, Demolition X turned 69, Tough Enough winner Andy Levine turned 29, Raw for all winner Mark Gunn turned 53, and 49th birthday of Jerry the Wall Tuitt from WCW fame. And I did not get the picture of that. I think I may have. If I do, so I'll post it right there for you. And it's a promotional poster for Sleight from WWE Studios Films, which will be released on April 7th, 2017. Dramatic thriller blends science fiction and street magic, and stars Jacob Lattimore, Dual Heel, and Seychelles Gabriel. Well, I'll show you who was backstage with John Cena before SmackDown. None other than NHL legend Mark Messier. Kofi Kingston had faith in humanity restored this week after people returned a lost wallet and laptop to him. He tweeted the following at True Kofi on Twitter: "Big thank you to the kids that found my wallet at a gas station and gave it to a fellow WWE superstar to return to me. God bless children." Also at True Kofi, also my wife left her laptop on a plane. I left her laptop on a plane last week. Someone returned that too. Humans are awesome. Well, it looks like Mustafa Ali will be in action on the 205 live from his hometown of Chicago. As noted, tonight's show will also feature Neville versus Cruiserweight Champion Rich Swann and a gentleman duel between Jack Gallagher and Ariel Daivari. Ali tweeted the following on tonight's show at Mustafa Ali WWE at WWE 205 live tonight in my hometown of Chicago. If you're going to try and change the world, you might as well start at home. For what it's worth, WWE officials have not decided on WrestleMania 33 plans for current U.S. champion Roman Reigns, with less than 100 days left to go until the big event in Orlando. Sounds like there could be a coronation for Reigns at the Royal Rumble next month as he faces Universal Champion Kevin Owens with Owens title on the line. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, that match will feature Chris Jericho suspended above the ring in a shark cage. Well, that was from last week's stipulation. On Raw, regarding WrestleMania 33, Meltzer noted that there are different ideas being discussed for Reigns, and one included a big surprise that's probably not happening. No word yet on exactly what the surprise might be. However, none of the WrestleMania plans being discussed have anything to do with another Reigns coronation. Jesse Gutters was featured in a new series titled Tainted Dreams on Amazon. He tweeted the following on his cameo appearance at Mr. Pectacular. Breaking news. Watch the world premiere of at Tainted Dreams TS on Amazon, which can be found at this link for you. See my cameo in episode 1 and first scene in episode 2. Other TNA news, as seen here in this latest episode of TNA's My First Day, featuring Eli Drake. And also an announcement on Anthem Sports and Entertainment officially purchasing TNA and parent company Impact Ventures LLC from Dixie Carter is expected soon. According to PW Insider, this will likely remove Dixie from any position of power. Anthem's Ed Nordholm, who will be leading TNA going forward, has been favorably talked about by several TNA talents, and he's said to be very business-oriented. PW Insider also noted that TNA is absolutely moving forward with live event plans in 2017. Injury update on Sami Zayn. Found at this link. Having fluid drained from his eye after a brawl with Braun Strowman from last night's Raw. As noted, the two will battle in a last man standing match next Monday night. Well, dark match before SmackDown in Chicago saw Apollo Crews defeat Kurt Hawkins. Live from Chicago for the final WWE SmackDown of 2016, Mauro Ranallo welcomes us. He's joined in by JBL, Jay with the Tug, and Tom Phillips. We go to the ring. Out comes John Cena to allow me action for his return. Music stops and Cena tells them to let it rain because he misses this. Cena says no matter where you go, nothing compares to the WWE excitement, and few places compared to the Allstate Arena. Fan chant for CM Punk. Cena tells them they have to be louder and asks if they're chanting Cena sucks. Cena goes on to hype tonight's title matches. Cena says he's a fan of WWE Champion AJ Styles and gives him props for the year and his head, but wonders if AJ can do it one more time tonight. This brings Cena to the next question, why he's here. We hear one fan chanting for The Undertaker. Others pick up on the chants, and Cena smirks. And this all can be found in this link here. Also, Cena says this shows him a lot of people have been speculating and planning his future. Cena says 2016 wasn't exactly a super year for Cena. He's heard that he's washed up, damaged goods, and a part-timer. Cena says a lot of superstars are saying that he's already got one foot out of the door headed to Hollywood, never to come back. Cena's here to set the record straight tonight. He's not done. He's not leaving, and he's sick of this new era BS. Cena says it's not the new era. It's the my time is now era. Well, that's like his old gimmick theme song. Your time is up, my time is now. Cena's really never giving up now. He will be watching the main event closely because he's challenging the winner to a match at the Royal Rumble. Cena says he did just do that because he's John Cena. Recognize. Cena drops the mic, makes his exit as his music hits. In that first segment. Still to come, champion AJ Styles defends against Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Also, Alexa Bliss defends the SmackDown Women's title against Becky Lynch. Four corners four corners elimination match for the tag team titles. Can be found in this link. And your competitors are the Usos versus American Alpha versus Heath Slater and Rhino versus the Wyatt family. We go to the ring. Out comes SmackDown champions Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Luke Harper. We go to commercial. Back from the break, security is lined up outside of the Miz's locker room. Dr. Fentez tries to get a word in with the Intercontinental Champion, but he's only taking questions from the journalist who slapped him last week, Renee Young. If she wants the scoop, he suggests she gets Renee. Back to the ring, we get Heath Slater and Rhino and the Usos await, and Chad Gable and Jason Jordan are out last. Does that give you a hint to anything going to happen in this match? Orton and Harper representing the Wyatts under Freebird rules. Jey Uso unloads on Rhino early on gets a close 2 count. Jimmy comes in and keeps Rhino down for another pin attempt. Slater finally tags in and unloads on Jimmy. This leads to Slater getting pinned for their elimination. Back for the break, Usos are in control of Jordan. Gable gets a tag and goes to work on Jey. Gable with an alphaplex for a 2 count as Jimmy breaks up the pinfall. More back and forth action as Gable and Uso trade pin attempts, but Gable gets the 3 count. Usos have been eliminated. Harper immediately attacks, sending Jordan to the floor. Usos get in and cheap shots on American Alpha before they're ordered to leave. Harper brings it back in the ring and Orton goes to work on Jordan with stomps. Orton keeps control as Bray looks on from ringside. Orton catches Jordan with a power slam for a 2 count. Orton with uppercuts now. Jordan turns it around with a drop kick. Gable and Harper tag at the same time. Gable comes off the top and nails Orton on the apron. Gable with a German on Harper for a 2 count. Orton drops Gable while Bray has the referee distracted. Harper floors Gable and covers for a 2 count as we go to commercials with Orton tagging in. Back from the break, Harper has Gable grounded. Harper drops Gable with a back elbow and catapults him into the middle rope. Gable falls to the floor. Orton ends up coming in and keeping the offense going on Gable. Orton with a slingshot suplex for a 2 count. Harper tags in. Harper tags back in and nails a Michinoku jobber for a 2 count. Harper with a get a roll now as Gable fights back, but Harper catches him in a sidewalk slam for a 2 count. Gable counters the move and sends Harper face first into the turnbuckles. Orton and Jordan tag in next. They go at it as Jordan connected with a drop kick. Harper came back in, but Jordan nailed a big suplex. Jordan suplexed Orton for a 2 count as Harper broke up the pinfall. Jordan pulled Harper to the floor as they traded shots. Gable leaps off the apron with a cannonball and takes Harper down. Jordan takes out Bray. Orton nails a second rope JBDDT on Jordan. Fans chant for the RKO now. Gable knocks Harper off the apron. Orton runs up to the top where Gable is, but leads to Orton knocking Harper off the apron. Gable with a missile drop kick. They hit the double team for the pin and win the titles. And with that, can be found right there for you. After the match, Bray looked on as American Alpha celebrated. Orton and Harper argue in the middle of the ring, but Bray comes in to calm things down. American Alpha celebrated with the titles and look on from the ramp. Still to come segment, 2 more title matches. We get the Royal Rumble promo and we replay from last week when Daniel Bryan made tonight's triple threat. Renee Young backstage with Dolph Ziggler as he warms up for the main event. He gets fired up about winning the WWE title tonight. Dasha Fentez backstage with James Ellsworth. He admits it hurts his feelings when people pick on how he looks. As Carmella walks up and says she finds Ellsworth uniquely attractive. They leave together, which can be seen in this link. Well, I was fixing supper at this time. And we had homemade tacos. Well, SmackDown Women's title match. Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. Can be found in this link. We go to the ring. Out comes SmackDown's Women's Champion, Alexa Bliss. Back to commercial. Back from the ring. Out comes Becky Lynch as Bliss looks on. We get formal ring introductions from Greg Hamilton. The bell rings and they go at it with Becky applying a submission early on. Bliss makes it to the bottom rope. They trade several holds and pin attempts. Becky with another submission attempt. Bliss counters and blocks a disarmer. Bliss talks some trash and hits the STO. Bliss with another pin attempt. Bliss drops Becky and stands on her back. Bliss with another 2 count. Bliss keeps control until Becky catches her with arm drags and a drop kick. Bliss goes to the floor for a breather. Becky goes for the baseball slide, but Bliss blocks it and beats her down on the floor. They go at it on the floor as the referee counts. Bliss counters and sends Becky face first into the ring post. Bliss makes it back into the ring as we go to commercial. Becky makes a comeback after a break, but misses in the corner. Bliss also misses. Becky with a springboard kick. Bliss with more counters. Bliss slams the arm hard and keeps control. Becky goes to the top rope, but Bliss cuts her off. Becky nails a missile drop kick and crawls over for a 2 count. Music hit, out comes La Luchadora, which Becky used last week to trick Bliss. Bliss takes advantage of a distraction for a 2 count. They trade counters again. Bliss with more offensive pin attempts as Luchadora looks on. Bliss lands on knees and she comes off the top. Becky gets the disarmer applied, but Bliss gets her foot on the rope. Bliss distracts the referee. Becky tries to unmask Luchadora, but gets sent into the exposed turnbuckle. Bliss drops Becky with a DDT to retain. After the match, Bliss celebrated as we go to replays to see how her arm was dislocated during the match. Dasha interviewed her after the match. Bliss says she doesn't know who the masked woman was. It could have been Sasha Banks or Nia Jax. And she walks off. We see what happened between Renee and The Miz last week. Renee approaches his locker room, but Maurice answers the door. It looks like Maurice might do something, but Miz calms her down and steps out to talk to Renee. Miz sends the security away. Miz declares 2017 will be his year. Dean Ambrose appears behind him, and Renee smiles. Ambrose attacks Miz and fights off some of the security. In that segment, still to come. Still to come segment. Triple Threat for the world for the WWE title. Back to commercial. Renee again is backstage with Baron Corbin. He calls Dolph Ziggler and AJ Styles little men who are about to meet end of days. Triple Threat for the world for the WWE title. Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles. We go to the ring. Out comes Baron Corbin. Dolph Ziggler was out next. Back to commercial. Back for the ring. Dean Ambrose versus Intercontinental Champion The Miz is announced for next week. We get a formal ring introduction from Greg Hamilton. Bell rings and Corbin shoves AJ to the mat, but gets drop kicked by Ziggler. Back and forth for a few minutes. Corbin avoids another drop kick and knocks AJ to the floor. Ziggler also goes to the floor for a breather as Corbin looks on from the ring. We go to commercial. So my guess was already going to be AJ Styles retaining. Back from the break, Corbin remains in control. He brings AJ back inside the ring, but counters with a crucifix, but is broken by a Ziggler superkick. Corbin ends up taking back control with a double clothesline. Corbin stomps away on Ziggler in the corner. Corbin keeps up the attack on Ziggler. AJ blocks the end of the day to Ziggler. Styles fights Corbin now as Corbin rams him. Rams it back into the corner. Styles fights them both off. Corbin drops Ziggler with a clothesline. Corbin drops AJ for a close 2 count. We go to commercial with Baron Corbin in control. Corbin dominated through the break and remains in control. Ziggler and Styles take turns on Corbin now. They knock Corbin to the floor with a double team. They end up on the floor and Corbin launches Styles into the barrier. Corbin slams Ziggler on the floor next. Corbin takes apart the announce table. This leads to Ziggler and Styles putting Corbin through the table with a double team leg drop and elbow drop combo off the apron, off the barrier. Styles and Ziggler go at it inside the ring now. Ziggler hits a big DDT for a close 2 count. Corbin is still down at ringside. More back and forth. Styles goes for Styles Clash, but can't hit it. Styles ends up going after a phenomenal forearm, but Ziggler super kicks him in mid move. Almost crotches him on the ring top rope as he just hits him on the stomach. Ziggler with a close 2 count and a super kick for another close 2 count as Corbin breaks up the pinfall. Ziggler kicks Corbin and nailing a swinging neck breaker. Then an elbow drop for a close 2 count. Corbin catches Ziggler with a D6 for another close 2 count. And Styles breaks up the pinfall. Styles and Corbin go at it. Corbin nails the end of days, but Ziggler super kicks him at the same time. Ziggler with a close 2 count. Corbin launches Ziggler shoulder first into the corner. Corbin takes Ziggler up top, but Ziggler fights him off and knocks him to the mat. Corbin runs back over and crosses Ziggler, sending him into the mat. Corbin with an end of days on Ziggler. AJ with a phenomenal forearm. on Corbin for the pinfall. But he didn't pin Corbin, he pinned Ziggler for the pin. 1, 2, 3. After match, Styles celebrated with the WWE title as we go to replays. Styles then stood tall with the title until the music hits, and out comes John Cena. Cena rushed the ring as fans do their own version of the theme song. Cena stares at Styles and takes his shirt off. He's ready to fight, somewhat. Styles and Cena met in the middle of the ring. Styles raises the WWE title. Extends his hand. Cena extends his hand, but AJ refuses to shake it. Momentarily, AJ lays the title between them, and then AJ does shake Cena's hand and picks up the title back up, yelling that it's not going anywhere. Cena's music hits to another mixed reaction. Cena and Styles have words with no microphones. As we go to backstage to Neville, cutting a promo on tonight's 205 Live. SmackDown goes off the air with AJ celebrating as Cena looks on from the ramp. I'm going to get my phone to get the exact text message of who will be in the Fatal 4-Way. My buddy said it was on a commercial during Raw. Well, I didn't see any commercial during Raw. He says it's a Fatal 4-Way match. It will be here in Bossier City. John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler versus Ambrose versus Styles for the title. Not other events that was scheduled at Madison Square Garden with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt in a Fatal 4-Way. Okay, back to okay, so now is John Cena versus AJ Styles now official for January 29th Royal Rumble pay-per-view from the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, as it was posted after SmackDown went off the air. Cena on WWE.com as Cena issued the challenge during his return promo on last night's earlier tonight's SmackDown, and AJ later accepted after retaining over Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler in a triple threat. And then, so here's what's happened so far on the Royal Rumble card. Title match, John Cena versus AJ Styles. Universal title match, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Chris Jericho will be above the ring as a stipulation in a start cage. Royal Rumble match, so far you got Bill Goldberg and Brock Lesnar versus 28 other superstars to be announced. What happened after SmackDown? On Twitter, it sounds like Heath Slater may have suffered an injury in the Four Corners elimination match for the SmackDown tag team titles earlier on tonight, which saw American Alpha capture the tag team championships. Well, Heath Slater commented at Heath Slater OMRB. I guess I'll be seeing the doctor tomorrow. Well, also announcing that quickly recapped the SmackDown Live main event and ran down the card for the show. For 205. Cedric Alexander versus Tony Nese at this link. Drew Gulak looking dapper in a suit accompanying Nese to the ring. I assume he asked Alicia on a date later. Handshake and an athletic exchange gets us started. Roll up for Alexander for a short count. Alexander with an upper hand, and after a handstand, head scissors, Nese showing off the power, sending Alexander to the outside. Nese goes up to the top for a missile drop kick, cover for a 2 count. Alicia fires the crowd up for her man as Alexander fights out with a palm strike and forearms. Beautiful strike sequence from Nese, ending with a leg sweep. Submissions make their appearances with the body scissors from Nese. Lots of elements in this one. Jawbreaker from Cedric, followed by a bevy of elbows. Comeback sequence ending with a handspring roundhouse. Huge air on a springboard clothesline from the top and a near fall. Lumbar check block by Nese. Slips a kick and hits the big clothesline. We pan to the outside as Gulak gets in a tizzy with Fox. She gets caught red-handed with a shoe in her hand and Gallant gets the attention of the referee. He sees the situation and sends Fox to Alicia to the back. Huge palm strike from Nice to send Alexander into a daze, and then pin for the win. So Tony Nese wins by pinfall. After the match, we go backstage with Alicia Fox. None other than Noam Dar finds her. He brings Fox a mistletoe for Christmas. She gives him a couple of stiff slaps. Apparently, he enjoys pain. Pre-taped interview with Neville and Renee Young talking about his new outlook. Neville cites WWE officials overlooking him for the Cruiserweight Classic. Neville says the WWE Universe and Americans are discriminatory against him, and he will take it out on the division. He talked about Rich Swann being his young boy overseas. Renee makes a remark about an unrecognizable word, and it sends Neville out of the room, which all can be seen in that link there. Mustafa Ali versus John Urnett. Hometown hero Ali taking on Mr. 450. Urnett seems to have injured his leg, but is also playing the cowardly heel in this one. Quick utter from Ali. He sets Urnett up in the corner. Irony at its finest as he hits an inverted 450 for the win. Winner of the match, Mustafa Ali. After the match, Ali cut a promo on his hometown, and he says he'll let the victories he piles up on 205 Live speak for themselves. Then we get a video package on Arian Very looking at his feud with Jack Gallagher. As Gallagher is brought out, we get a recap to set up the duel. And the duel can be found in this link, Arian Very versus Jack Gallagher. We have a frying pan, candlesticks, rope, umbrella, lead pipe, wrench, and a teapot. What? What is this match? A clue game? This is already fantastic. Very picks up the lead pipe, and Gallagher goes with the umbrella. Gallagher walks him through the traditional rules of a duel. We go back to back and 5 paces. Gallagher gets a 2. DeVere follows. Jumps a leg sweep. Lands a crotch shot. Not to be outdone. A tap to the head as well. A thorough thrashing, you might say. Gallagher decides better on an attack from behind. DeVere gets some offense in, but Gallagher puts a stop to it. DeVere leaves the ring and technically submits. First duel I've ever called. Hopefully not the last, as the announcer said. Winner by forfeit, Jack Gallagher. Victor for the returning Japanese buzzsaw, Tajiri. He makes a 205 Live debut next week. Neville versus Rich Swann can be found in this link. Swann refuses the handshake and goes to town on Neville early on. Reverse whips, and Swann flips out of the way. Swann goes for the outside dive, but met with a big clothesline from Neville as he re-enters the ring. Neville throws Swann into the barricade, not once but twice. Neville sends Swann back first into the ring apron. Video board, officials get to an 8 count, but Neville voluntarily broke it up with a big dive. He missed most of it, but he caught Swann. They head back inside the ring where Neville locks in a chin lock. Neville urging Swann to back up, but sent back down with a thundering chop, running splash from self-proclaimed king of the cruiserweights, and slows the pace once again. Pointed elbow to lead to a cover and a 2 count. Impatient crowd starts chanting for Aries as Neville locks the chin lock once again. Tip the wall backbreaker followed by a shooting star press to the back from Neville. Top rope missile drop kick, cover for a 2 count. Swann selling the back quite well. A big USA chant rings out. Much to the writer's delight, Swann fights out of another submission and lands a series of chops. Big hurricanrana from the champ. Swann skips a leg sweep and hits a melee kick. Springboard Phoenix splash lands on Neville on the floor outside. Kicks to the midsection of Swann, sets up a tiger bomb, cover for a 2 count. Beautiful kick from Swann and sell from Neville. Swann hits a fantastic voyage, but Neville kicked out. Both men slowly up in the middle of the ring. They land in the corner. A hobbled Swann goes for a corner attack, but met with a kick from Neville. Red Arrow missed its target, but Swann does not. 1, 2, no! Kick out. Swann desperately heads to the top on bad wheels, but Neville prevents the step up, or the setup. They fight on the ropes until Swan sends him back down. Neville low bridges Swan. Enziguri from Neville joins the party at the top. Superplex from Neville and gets the pin and statement victory. Fun match. After the match, Neville goes on a rampage and takes out Swan with a litany of kicks, throws, and strikes. Neville yells out, "Bring me my crown!" An official check on Swan as we head off the air. Dark match main event after the SmackDown. Chicago saw John Cena and Dean Ambrose defeat AJ Styles and Intercontinental Champion Miz. That took place. And I did not get a video link of it. Because that's all it was said on the one dirt sheet. None of the other ones had anything about it. Well, thanks again. Peace out. See you on be. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.